And welcome back. Let's focus on the new patient phone call next. In the last lesson, I discussed how a new patient will find you. Knowing how someone discovered your practice helps the entire team understand the person's mindset on the other end of the phone. Your team members will need tools, information, and psychological insight to navigate the new patient phone call to engage with them. At my practice, we view this first direct contact as an opportunity to filter the patient so we can accommodate and hopefully exceed their expectations. One thing to understand about the first phone call is that this first contact may not be over the phone. The first contact can be through chat, email, text, or even a direct message on social media. What's important here is to set up a mini system for your phone call because regardless of how the first contact is made, the eventual goal is to have it lead to a phone call. We answer the phone at our practice with standard greeting, and we let the caller know who we are and we ask how we can help them. The caller's response is typically a verbal avalanche of randomized thoughts mixed with insignificant details spewed at a rate that no one thought was humanly possible. Yet, the team member who's answering the phone is expected to sift through the information like an old-time prospector trying to find the gems during the gold rush. Once they determine the prospective new patient is on the line, the team member can easily reference a standard intake form located next to every phone in the office. Using the form helps guide the conversation and sift for the gems that we need to capture on our way to make an appointment. I've included a version of this form in the resources as an example. It's important to actively listen, engage, and repeat what the patient says because this helps them feel heard. But at the same time, you need to stay focused on the objective of sifting and collecting their information. Initially, the patient's answers to the standard greeting questions will drive the intake form sequence. Still, over time and with more experience, team members will take control and turn the intake form mini system into a natural conversation rather than a robotic demand for information. The goal of collecting all this information is to determine how to filter the patient into the correct appointment type. For new patients, the point is to try and establish why they are calling us. We need to know who they should be scheduled with and how much time is required for their appointment. Also, we want to understand their expectations and, just as importantly, ensure they know and can adapt to our practice's philosophy of dentistry. Your filter will vary based on your practice's demographics, but we only filter to 3 types of new patient appointments at my practice. Filtering for only 3 gives the team a common language and clear actions and mini systems to follow. This creates shared understanding and expectations for the entire team. The 3 types of new patient appointments we filter for are: first, I'm calling because I have a problem and I want it looked at. 2, I'm calling because I have significant dental issues, also dubbed by one of our team members as the Hot Mess Express. Or 3, I'm calling and I am assuming I'm healthy. So let's first look at the patient who has, I have a problem and I want the doctor to only look at that problem. This type of patient expects to see a doctor and walk away with a plan to solve their problem. With this type of new patient, we must determine if their problem is urgent or emergent. One mini system our office uses is to offer an appointment to be seen, and let me stress, seen in the office within 48 hours. If the patient declines this option of being seen urgently, they filtered themselves out of urgent protocol. Instead, our team will then appoint them for a problem-focused appointment at the appropriate time frame that matches their expectation. At this point, the team member on the phone will use chairside language to convert their problem-focused appointment into a comprehensive evaluation since it's scheduled further out. Either way, we strive to collect as much information over the phone and then close the call by setting the appointment expectations to look at the problem, to assess the issue, and to create a plan to solve that issue. Regardless of whether the patient is scheduled urgently or further out, our ultimate team goal is to get this patient into a proactive mindset for the appointment. The next type of patient who calls owns their significant dental problems and wants their entire mouth to be examined. These patient types are filtered into a comprehensive exam. Our team member takes time with these Hot Mess Express patient phone calls to set the expectation that they will see a doctor and they will need to collect detailed information for their chart. We explain that the information we obtain during this type of appointment is necessary to evaluate their health and create a customized treatment plan that will restore them to the level of health they want to achieve. We stress to them that we are here to engineer a solution to their problem, but to do so, we need to first get a layout of what's happening. It's also crucial to communicate during the phone call that this type of appointment does not include a cleaning. Setting this expectation up front is essential. Otherwise, it can be an obstacle and jeopardize the entire patient experience. During the conversation, if our team member establishes that the patient only had a short-term lapse in dental care, or if they're switching offices to maintain their care, we can schedule them for their new patient appointment within the hygiene protocol. And finally, for new patients who filter into the presumably healthy type, we must figure out if they are receiving periodontal therapy or if they will enter our practice as healthy. We set expectations that their appointment will include a thorough evaluation with time reserved with the hygienist to continue maintaining their healthy mouth. Even though this patient says they don't have any significant issues, the word significant can hold different meanings to you, your team, and the patient. The intake form helps guide the remainder of the conversation and lays the foundation for the upcoming appointment regardless of patient type. No matter how the patient initiates contact with your office, whether a phone call, social media messaging, or walk-in, your team needs to adapt, filter for patient type, and collect as much information as possible to start the patient record. Being well organized in your approach with the initial phone call sets your team up for success in handing off the new patient to the next point in the new patient journey.